everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Alright, so I returned for the final time to finish my unique memorial project for Asimo's burial location in this video. In the previous part 3, I implanted the beautiful custom-made memorial into the ground, ready for the final stages that will appear in this video. Here I start this video off with a modification to the memorial, or to be more specific, to the plaque holder itself and the stainless surround. So this modification only came after careful thought in the concluding stages. When this mod is completed, I follow on by finally placing the customized, the reinforced white marble slab onto its resting place. So that is the lips that are specially designed to hold the slab, and the piece of rubber that I placed on that lip in part 3. At this stage, I complete the final touches of the memorial by adding the 2 plaques to the specially formed and now the modified holder. This video, part 4, has been set to demonstrate the final results in detail, where the ending of this video focuses on presenting Asimo's finished memorial project at daytime, but also at dusk and then leading into darkness. So as seen throughout all the video parts, a lot of hard work and thought has gone into this project. So do enjoy. I will get started here again. Okay, so it's been 1 day since I placed the surround into the ground. As you can see, the marble slab hasn't been placed in there yet. So there's a reason for that. So I initially was going to stick this plaque holder to the marble slab using a strong double-sided tape, but I have now changed my mind. I'm not going to do that. The reason being is I'm not going to take a chance of the wind blowing this over and wrecking the surround, or even wrecking the slab itself. So I'm going to jump straight into the 3D model again and explain how I'm going to fix this, but not to the slab, but still keeping it in the centre of the surround. So I'll do this now. As you can see, the surround is still covered in dirt and watermarks. So I need to just finish everything else off first before I get to the cleaning stages here. So jump straight over to the 3D model here now. Okay, so let's look at this 3D model for one final time. So looking down on it, if we I should point out first before I go any further, I have placed a hole here in the marble, the part, and also the part here, the plaque holder. So that's only there, or well, those holes are only there to centralize the plaque holder for this demonstration. So looking down on it again here, so my idea is to keep this plaque holder at a slight angle, say 30 degrees from this edge. So running 30 degrees from that edge. So that being 0, and this being 20, this being 30. I might actually go on round to say 35. Or 30 might be okay, but I think it's better looking having the plaque holder like this rather than this position. So if I set it here and move up, it obviously doesn't look bad because of how pretty everything looks in the real piece, but I think it would do it justice by having it at a slight angle here. It doesn't look too bad in this position, looks actually better that way, but than long ways. But if I place it around this way again and look at it, if you can imagine now walking down the footpath here, these plaques, well, one of them will be facing you and the other one will be at the rear end of it. So that will be at the other side, the footpath. So if you're walking down the footpath now, a postman, anyone, they'll see the plaque hitting them in the face, basically. So I'm just going to now discuss how I'm going to mount this. So some will say, why don't I just drill holes in the marble? I don't want to do that because I don't want the handlings down the line of the slab cracking. Or let's say water gets in between the hole and the screw and cracks because of the frost hits it. Or let's say that I drill it and I damage it. I don't want to be risking anything here. So I've come up with an idea here. So if I go over to the tree here, the design tree, and I show two new items. So these two new items are 12mm stainless steel bar. So my idea here is to drill 4 holes in the surround, 2 at this side and 2 at this side. So I'll show this, or I'll make it transparent even. So the idea is here to slide the bars in through holes that are elongated. So if you can imagine, if I have this bar at a 30-degree angle, this hole is not going to be round no more. So I need to use a Dremel here to elongate the holes. So one other thing I want to point out here. So this holder will be welded directly to the stainless steel bars. As I say, the stainless steel bars will be 12mm. I might polish them into a mirror finish before I place them in the surround. So this is why I can't place the marble slab into the surround yet, because this holder needs finished first. So this is the idea that I have got. I'm going to go outside now and drill the 4 holes, but first I just want to point out the height of this is not important, but I think it's better to keep the bars centralized between this edge and the slab. So I'm just going to raise the bars here. Say I'm going to raise it up, maybe I'll go 320. No, I'll go 315. That's probably too high. No, it looks good. So let's see if I change this again. So I need to go a wee bit more there, but just get the gist. So outside now and get these 4 holes drilled. The bars are still coming in the post, but I'll get the holes drilled now anyway. So I think this adds character to the grave as one project. I think it actually makes it very special looking, very unique, with the actual holder sitting raised off the slab. So as I say, I was going to attach the holder directly to the marble slab, but I can't take that risk of the holder falling over and damaging the surround or the slab, considering the amount of work I put into it. So outside here now, we'll get these 4 holes drilled, looking well. Okay, so these holes have been marked out using a jig. So not dependent on a tape measure here. So I'm not going to center punch these either because I don't want to interfere with the surround. Just going to drill them with a wee pilot hole. So here we go. Everything's taped up to keep the swarf out of this channel and off the seals. One pilot hole done, 5mm. Okay, so the holes are 15mm from this edge. This hole is 120mm from this face, and this hole's 373 from this face. 250mm between them. On the other side here now. So the holes at the side now have to be offset. So what I mean by that is they're currently at the side, I now need to put 2 at the side to create the holder to go on an angle here. So I'll set the camera up again. So now on to the third hole here. So these holes have to be elongated at approximately 12mm diameter. There we go, that's the 4 pilot holes done. 15mm from this folded edge down to the centre. So because this is thin stainless, I need to be careful here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out to 10mm and then we're going to maybe Dremel the rest out to 12 in an oval sort of hole. So when I say I need to be careful, it's 1.5mm thickness here, but need to watch the drill bit doesn't start wiggling about. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go 8mm first. So these drill bits are brand new, so hopefully there's no problems. Thanks to my girlfriend. I think they were a Christmas present. Presto, Cobalt, great drill bits. So we're going to go out to 10 now and then I'm going to finish the rest off camera. I don't want no mess ups at this stage. So there we go, we can break a drill bit here very easy. Break the top off it. Okay, so I'll finish the rest off camera and then I'll elongate these holes to 12mm. Running in an angle, so when I get this bit of stainless, so I will be running at an angle like this to the hole at this side of the surround. So it should look really well. I haven't got the stainless bar yet, that's tube. So I'll get these holes rolled here. Okay, so the 12mm bars, the stainless bars, have finally arrived in the post. So the holes are currently sitting at 12mm, so these bars do fit in. But what I need to do here now is elongate them so that the bars can sit offset in the surround. So the holes are currently at 12mm. I could drill these holes out to 13mm, but I'm all about precision, so I don't want to have the bars too slack. So my next step here now is removing the burr that the drill bit has left before we elongate them here. So with a countersunk bit, that's okay. And this side, just a wee tooty bit, not going to dig this countersunk bit in too much here. So it's right and sharp, I've sharpened it. So now on to elongating the holes. Okay, so with this new drill bit, this 12mm Cobalt bit, I'm going to now elongate these holes. I'm going to demonstrate it here on the side and then I'm going to do the side off camera. So I've placed 2 marks, so these are my points of interest for each hole. So what I need to do here now is put the drill in the hole, the drill bit, keep the drill bit parallel to this face, and I'm going to move the drill around approximately about say 40 degrees towards this mark. So hopefully this goes well here. I'll just wait till that car passes. So here we go. So remember, keeping the drill bit parallel to this face, and we're going to move it around towards this first mark at full speed too. Okay, so there's one done. On to the next one here. So we're going to move the drill round now towards this mark. We're keeping it parallel to this face here, and away we go. Okay, so that's that side complete. Now on to this side, and then we'll get this bar or these bars cut.
the two of them, which are sitting here. I might also polish them into a mirror here, mirror finish, just to make it stand out a wee bit better. The surround is currently covered in oil and water droplets. These polished. It's quite the mess. So I'll get these this side done now and I'll move on here. Okay, so before I move on to this side, I'm just going to finish these holes using the Dremel. So basically what I'm going to do here is just dress them, tighten them up. Notice the way I'm holding the Dremel. So towards this mark, oh, we got past it. Now on to this one. Okay, so I'll use a sanding drum now. But first, let's place this stainless bar into the surround. So you can see there now that the holes look pretty nice, pretty accurate. There we go. So if I go any more, this one will have a gap, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to tighten it with a sanding drum here now. These wee boys. Before I move on to the side. So good job. Okay, so I thought I should just demonstrate the whole lot if I'm going to demonstrate part of it. So just finishing this hole off now, this elongated hole with the Dremel using this sanding drum. So it's medium size, 10mm diameter. I'll zoom in here nice and close. Okay, so I'm going to cut these two stainless bars now at 740mm. Then I'm going to move on to polishing them. So a wee bit of work to do here yet. So 740mm is the largest size that we'll be able to slide into those two holes into the surround. So I'll get these cut here now. I'll just go and get my mask. Okay, so I am on to the final part of the surround here, or the surround holder. The final part before I weld the bars to the holder, or the holder to the bars. So what I'm going to do here now is give the bars a quick run in this polishing machine, on this polishing machine, to give a mirror-like finish. So remember, about 100mm at both ends of both bars are not visible because they are inside the surround. So I'm only going to polish from here to here. So leaving 100mm approximately at both ends. I might go down to 70. So we're going to start this now. So I need to be careful not to leave this bar curved. Remember, even though I'm calling this polishing, it's not really polishing, it's burnishing. So I'm putting a lot of heat into the bar to give it a mirror-like finish. So I need to be careful here to not put too much pressure on the bar. So not holding the bar like this, but holding the bar up closer to the wheel. And also I need to be careful not to hold the bar in one spot. So I need to keep turning it to keep the heat evenly placed over the bar. So hopefully that makes sense. So let's say I put too much heat on this side. This bar would end up turning like a banana. So the wheel that I'm using here is a salsa wheel with the black compound, so that's the coarse compound. So here we go, turn the mask on, away we go here. So you can already see the difference there. This end of the bar is starting to look more shinier, like a mirror-like finish, and this end's like a matte sort of finish. So I'll keep our lid here and we'll get these welded onto the holder to the bars. Okay, so the orientation of the bar against the wheel is important. So what I'm doing here is basically creating a crisscross. So as demonstrated at the very start here, I was running the bar this way, long ways. Now I'm running it this way. So you can imagine it's sort of crisscrossing where I'm polishing, or where I'm directing the polish, the wheel. So what I'm going to do here now is move on to the final stage. A wee quick demonstration here. So at the first stage of the polishing, you can already tell the difference there. So this bar looks more satin finish, and this one starting to look like a mirror finish. So moving on to the second stage, the final stage just for these bars. I'm going to go over to this side of the polisher. So what I'm going to use here now is a green polish. So it's like a final polish with a waffle cloth like wheel. So here we go. So when I'm polishing here, I'm turning the bar every stroke. So when I go this way, I turn the bar again. Then I go this way, turn the bar a wee bit each time. Say like a quarter of a turn. Just to keep the heat dispersed evenly across the bar, so it doesn't curl when you look down it. Like so. So I'm running my eye down it there now, it looks perfectly straight. Let's say it was curved like a banana this way. Well, I would need to apply more heat to the opposite ends of the bar to get it straight again. So it's kind of tricky here, but looking good there now. Not tricky, but tricky for the beginner. You can see the difference here now. Starting to look really pretty. And Jeffrey likes pretty things. Well. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the second bar here soon. So you might be able to tell the difference here. You will the outside, but in the garage here, you can see now that this bar has a much smoother finish, like a burr-like finish, and this bar has like a satin finish. Not bad, but this is much better. So I'll continue on here, and then we'll get this holder welded to the bars. Good job. Okay, so I have went ahead here and set the holder up, running in line with the bar. So basically, I have the very front edge of this lip center with the bar. So what I'm going to do here now is place 2 tacks on it, then add the other bar on the other side. Remember, the other bar has to be set offset. So I'll just explain that here. So at this side here we have 315 mil. At this side of the holder we have 215 mil, and that's 200 in the middle. So that's right, because I actually cut these bars at 730 in length in the end up, because 740 wouldn't fit into this round. So I'll place 2 tacks on this now, and hopefully it all goes well here. I have to be very careful because I'm not planning to clean these welds with an acid, because it would take the shine away from the polished bar here now. So let's get this tacked. So I have the welder set at 30 amps here. I think it's 30. Oh jeepers, it's 50. Hold on, to turn this down a bit. 38 there now. So making sure now that this edge is running parallel to the center of the bar, which it is. So it's important here that I have the long side to the left of the holder when this bigger part is facing me here, because I want this facing the pathway. So I'll weld this other bar on now. So this is only tacked for the meantime. So I'll set this up here. So this is the side now facing the house. Just lining it up again here. So that looks not too bad. I've one shot at this, so I'm taking my time. Okay, so that's it tacked. I'll get it welded here now. Once I confirm it's up to my standards here. Looking good. Okay, so the holder is tacked to the bars in 6 places. So I'm going to put a few stitches on each bar. So they're marked out here. So 10mm here, 10mm in the centre, and 10mm at this end. So here we go. So I have the welder set up on pulse mode here to keep the heat out of the workpiece. Looks lovely. Now on to the middle. Beautiful. And finally this end. There we go. So that's one side complete. I'll finish this off now off camera and we'll get it tested in this round. Okay, so I just decided to demonstrate welding this side too. So this is the larger side with the A4 stainless sheet. So keeping the needle nice and close so the weld's very narrow, not spread out over the workpiece. There we go, complete. Looks beautiful. So the bar's clamped at the two ends here. Forgot to point that out. Just to keep it from bellying, turn it into a banana shape. So looks well there now. So I'll do a wee close up of these welds. Look at the torch. Okay, so I'll take this out now and try it. Hopefully it fits. I hope it does. Looks really well. Hey? We'll get the plaques on it then. So the plaques arrived a long time ago. So out we go here outside now. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate cleaning the welds that hold the holder to the bars. So I'm only going to clean these welds on the holder and not the bar. So here we go. Keeping in line with the brush marks. So 3 welds at each side. We don't want to start rubbing the bar because we will remove the mirror finish. We'll tarnish it, dull it down. So that looks good there now. On the other side. Okay, so I never pointed out there. The duct tape is used to keep me from touching the bar or the welds. So there we go. So I'll rub this one now. So the one's picking up here again. Hopefully it's not too bad in the video there. So rubbing this one now, keeping with the brush marks this way to remove that tarnish, that burnished effect that the weld has left, or the weld burns. Doesn't take much. So you should still see a bit of colour in the welds here, which will be nice. So here we go. Perfect. So bit of a duct tape's left behind, but I'll take that off with fingers here. There we go. So that doesn't look too bad. Might give it a run with a polisher down the side just now. Oh dear. Okay, so I am finally at the part, the interesting part, adding the slab to the surround. So, I'm going to do this in 2 stages. So the first stage is me lifting it into the surround, resting it on this edge, and then I will place this piece of foam here. Then I will use this sucker, this cup, this lifting cup, to lower the rest down into the surround. So I need to be careful this doesn't mark the lacquered finish because it has an excessive force, vacuum force. So this is rated 120 kilograms. My slab only weighs between 40 and 50. I think it's around 45 kilograms. Quite heavy. So what I'm going to do here is place a piece of plastic between the sucker and the lacquer just to keep the sharp edge from digging into it. I'm not going to risk lifting it with the one sucker in case it falls on the surround. So here we go. So I've decided to put it in the position it sits. Obviously it can go 2 ways, this way or the other way, but I'm going to keep it in this position where I've set it here. So we'll get this ready. Ta-da. So this is the second time this has been placed into the surround, but the first time with the foam, the seal in there. So I need to be careful here. There we go. So let's get the sucker out. Piece of plastic. So I have already had butter here with the sucker leaving imprints in the lacquer. Take it off quick. Perfect. So we'll just line it up here. I'll bring the camera into view. Okay, so it looks really well here. So the final step here is just lining this slab up to the surround. So a nice equal gap around this edges, around these edges. So that looks good. So now we're ready for the plaque holder. Hopefully this works as planned. Okay, so I've set up another plan view here to demonstrate this plaque holder fitting into the surround. So let's hope it works out as it should. So placing the bars in the first holes, well, the holes on this side of the surround, sliding it in carefully. Oh dear. So I'll move the camera in a minute for a better view here. So now sliding the bars onto this part of the surround, and it works as it should. Looks beautiful. So I'll take the camera off here. Okay, so all I need to do now is, well, sew the grass out and add the plaques. The blue slate plaque and the white PVC plaque. So it looks absolutely beautiful. When I move this camera stand. So the idea with the bars holding the plaque holder, well, it turned out really well. So we close up. So I decided not to polish these welds off, keep the colour. I just cleaned this face at both sides. So we'll move on now. I'll sew the grass out and I will add the plaques to finish this project off. So this is walking down the pathway, and there's the bigger plaque facing me. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Okay, so I am finally at that part, at that stage, to add these two custom-made, these beautiful plaques to this custom plaque holder. So just going to do a wee quick demonstration of these up close to the camera. So here we have the 200mm blue slate plaque. So this will go at the back of this larger one. So just to point out, I have the 3M tape applied, the adhesive tape applied to the stainless holder at this side and the other side. So this is just to speed the process up. I also don't want to make any mistakes here. So here is the larger plaque. So we have Asimo's name in bold, we have Happy Memories with Asimo, and we have this custom verse, and we have his date of birth and the date he passed away. So there we go. So I'll get these stuck on now. Just need to watch it doesn't blow away in the wind. It's quite windy here. This little wind deflector sort of cuts the wind noise away down. So I'll get these plaques stuck on now. One final thing here. When the plaques are stuck on to this beautiful plaque holder in the center of this beautiful grave, this beautiful surround, I'm going to add these solar lights. So probably one here, and one at the far end there. I also need to sow the grass out yet around this round. So we'll get these stuck on now. All's going well. Oh, one final thing. As well as the adhesive tape, the double-sided tape, I'm going to use this white silicone for this larger plaque, just so the water doesn't get in. Also, I will be using grip fill for this slate. We don't want that falling off and damaging all my hard work, this lacquered slab. So we'll get these stuck on now. Okay, so I didn't mention there, this piece of slate, or this plaque, is laser etched. So I'm going to go ahead here now and stick this on, using grip fill and the adhesive. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is place a small bit of grip fill on the inside here, not too much. We don't want it spraying out or squeezing out between the double-sided tape and the plaque itself. Also, one very important thing that I didn't point out, I've got these jigs set up, so I don't need to measure anything, I just need to set it on the jig and push it tight to the plaque holder. So here we go. So not too much, got a wee bit in the middle too. I said not too much and I plastered it on it. So, ready to rock here now. Resting the plaque on this piece of timber that's clamped to the holder and lining it up with this end here. So that's one done. Now on to the larger one. Good job. Okay, so on to the bigger plaque here now. So just want to point out here, the tape, the double-sided tape that I'm using for this side is much thinner. That's because there's inconsistencies in the slate, so that required the thicker tape, which is this one. So this is the clear, thinner adhesive, which is 0.21 of a mil. This is approximately 1 mil thick, the stuff I use for the blue slate. So the same thing again now, what I'm going to do here is apply not grip fill, but a wee bit of silicone around the outside here. So I have demonstrated or trialed this one. This is a scrap piece that didn't go to plan. So the silicone is having no effect on it. So I'm going to stick it on here now. First, I will remove the coating here off the adhesive tape. Being careful not to pull the adhesive and all off. So at this side, I also have a jig set up here at the bottom. So my next step here now is the silicone. So just a wee small bead, just to help to assist the tape. That will do. So let's get this stuck on to finish this grave off, this fancy surround. Or fancy memorial even, shall I say. So we need to be careful here. Lining it up with the sides. That looks good. So giving it a wee bit of pressure here now. That is perfect. So I can remove this guide. There we go. So this entire surround, this memorial piece, needs cleaned, needs polished yet. So you can see there the blemishes in the stainless. But first I'll focus on this. Removing the guide at the other side too. So that is the grave officially finished. Now on to the cleaning, sewing out the grass and applying or sticking those lights into the ground. So looks beautiful. Okay everyone, finally this project is now complete. Well, kind of. In the future, when I catch up with all these other projects on my channel that I'm doing, I will create a more polished statue to resemble Asimo's head by means of hydroforming. So I think I discussed this in the previous video parts, maybe part 1. There I will mount the statue of Asimo's head to the surround either at this end or the other end. Not sure yet. Probably the other end because it's facing the road. If you want to see other unique and world-class projects like this one, please subscribe and hit the post notifications bell to see all the latest from my channel. So I nearly forgot, I will add a sample video of these LED lights to close off this video. So as discussed earlier, as demonstrated, they are free solar lights. So that's it everyone, the clip will follow. So thanks for watching and goodbye. Okay, so I decided to do one final video clip here before it gets dark, just off the surround, now that the sun has come back out. Well, I should say memorial. So a little plan view here.